Good morning, everybody. Miss Amanda here from the Lincoln County Public Library. We'll give it just a second for some of our friends to hop on here, and then we'll get started with online STEM. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Online STEM. My name is Miss Amanda, and I work at the Lincoln County Public Library. All right, good morning, Deanna. Thanks so much for joining us this morning, guys. Today, we are going to talk about extreme weather, and we're going to talk about one specific kind of extreme weather, and we're going to talk about tornadoes, and we're going to make our own tornado in a jar, which I'm really excited about. And at the end, after we're done, in the comments, I will post some cool informational, educational videos about tornadoes so we can learn even more about tornadoes. But first, I'm going to tell you what you're going to need for our science experiment today. So you're only going to need 4 things. It's a super simple experiment. So one thing you're going to need is a jar. And any kind of jar will do, like a pasta sauce jar. I just have a canning jar. That's just what I have on hand. So that's what I'm going to use, but you can use any kind of jar that you have. And you're going to fill it all the way to the top with cold water. So I just did this to make sure that it's still cold, not room temperature. So I just put in cold water into my jar. The other things that you're going to need for this experiment are clear soap. I just have some clear hand soap. If you had some clear dish soap, that should work as well. And you're also going to need some vinegar. So we're going to do this experiment, and then we're going to talk a little bit about tornadoes and what are they and how do they form. So I'm going to show you how to do the experiment. And the cool thing about this experiment is that you can make it and you can do it, and then you can do it over and over again. So it's really, really, really interesting. And it's really cool even for the littlest ones to look at and experiment with, because it's kind of like a sensory jar, and you could put all sorts of different things in your jar as well. Experiment with adding maybe some color soap or some different things. So here's our jar, and I filled it almost all the way to the top with cold water. The next thing you're going to add is just a couple of squirts of clear soap. So that's what the instructions say. So that's what I've got is clear soap, but you could try it if you don't have any clear soap. You could try it with if your soap has color on it and see how that works. So I'm just going to add in some clear soap, just like that. And then I'm going to add in some vinegar. Make sure that whatever jar you're using has a lid that can be put on really tightly, and then it'll be watertight, because we're going to shake it up here in a minute. So I'm going to take my vinegar. It says to add about a capful of vinegar. The cap doesn't come off this one, so I'm just going to pour in a little bit of vinegar. All right. So now we're going to put the lid back on. Maybe. There we go. All right. You make sure it's on really, 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 really tight. Okay. And then you're going to spin it in a circle. And, let me spin it some more. Oh no, let's see. Maybe I did not add enough vinegar. Let's see. Or maybe I did not add enough soap. You know what? That is what happens sometimes with science experiments. If it doesn't quite work out exactly the way it's supposed to, you have to try to figure out what's going on. All right, so I'm going to add in a little bit more vinegar. Ooh, not too much. All right. This experiment does work because I just tried it earlier and it did work. So let's see here. I added in a little bit more vinegar to see if maybe that was our trouble. So we're going to shake it up. The other trouble could be if we needed to add more. Oh, you know what? What else could we add, do you think, if it's not working? I think we need to add more soap. But now my jar is really full. So I'm going to dump out some of this in my jar and we're going to add a little bit more soap together. Okay? Okay, so I just poured out a little bit of that. We are going to pour in some more soap, and maybe Miss Amanda didn't add enough soap the first time. All right, so we're going to add in, we're going to add a little bit more soap. Okay, that should do it. But we'll see, and that's one of the things about doing science. It doesn't always work out, and you have to figure out what's going on and try to fix it. That's part of the fun thing about science, is that if it doesn't work, you can try to fix it. So, all right, now we're going to shake it up. This is bananas. Why isn't this working? Let's see. Shake, shake, shake. Maybe Miss Amanda's not shaking it up long enough. All right, well, let's see. There we go. Maybe Miss Amanda wasn't shaking it up the right way. There we go. There is our tornado in a bottle. All right, let's see if we can get it going again. So I was trying to shake it laying down. I think we have to shake it standing up. There we go. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about what is a tornado. A tornado is an extreme type of weather. So some days we have sunny days, and some days we have snowy days. And if there is a really, really, really big storm, you might get a tornado. Now, the way that a tornado works is that it is cold air, and it has to be dry cold air. But when dry cold air meets warm wet air, that cold air pushes that warm air up, and the air starts moving so fast. See if you can see that. Starts moving so fast, and then you can get a tornado. So it's a very extreme type of weather. All right, let me add a little bit more vinegar and soap in here. All right. All right, and the way that tornadoes move, you could kind of see it in our experiment here. The way that they move, because they move and they twist and they turn, sometimes they call them twisters. And scientists can actually watch out for tornadoes, and they can tell if a storm is a kind of storm that could maybe make a tornado, which is really cool too. So a tornado is a fast spinning column of air that stretches all the way from the thundercloud in the sky down to the ground. You can kind of see him in there. He's a little skinny one. Can you see him? He was a little skinny one. All right, so you can make this experiment super easy with a jar full of cold water, some vinegar, and some dish soap or hand soap. There you go. Whatever kind of soap you might have. So very cool learning about tornadoes today. A tornado is one of the most powerful forces in nature. And it is a type of storm, an extreme weather storm. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I'm going to practice some more with my tornado over here. You can kind of see him in there a little bit. And you can also see how when you make your tornado in your jar, that your tornado in your jar, that the funnel cloud, it's actually looks like a funnel, or like, there you go. you can see that it goes all the way from the top to the bottom, and you can see kind of how tornadoes form, and they go from all the way up in the sky down to the ground. And then when it starts going away, you can see how it kind of goes away and dissipates as well. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for joining us today for Online STEM. Again, if you want to make your own tornado in a jar, you just need a jar, any kind will work. Fill it up almost all the way to the top with cold water. And then you add in a little bit of clear soap and a little bit of vinegar. Couple of squirts of soap, about a capful of vinegar. Twist it, twist it, twist it, twist it. Turn it around, and then you'll get a tornado. So thank you guys so much for joining us. And we did do some troubleshooting here. If your tornado isn't quite working, like mine wasn't working, you can add a little more soap. You can add some more vinegar. And another step that I just thought of was that you can make sure that your water is cold enough. Because if your water gets too warm, if it gets to be room temperature, it won't work so well. So thanks so much, guys, for joining us today for Online STEM and learning about tornadoes with us. Thanks so much. Have a great day.